Thanks for joining us. We're here today to present all the exciting new advancements from the Infinity 23 release of Pega Customer Service. My name is Kat Austin, Product Marketing Manager, and I'm joined by.
And I'm Jeremy Kemble. I'm on the product strategy side. Nice to join you, Kat.
There are so many new features in Pega Customer Service coming to Infinity 23, some of which are absolutely thrilling. And these advancements are working toward a larger goal, which is, of course, the paradigm of the autonomous enterprise. And in terms of autonomous, we in customer service are really partial to the analogy of the autonomous vehicle. And what is the end goal of the autonomous vehicle? Really, it's to make driving effortless. So imagine if you could make service effortless for everyone, for customers, for agents, for admins, for developers. Infinity 23 is just packed full of so many new developments that will provide tangible benefits for everyone. And we, Pega, have the key components to drive forward this vision of effortless service as leaders in the digital process automation space, the CRM space, and the real-time interaction management space. So what kind of technological goodies can we expect from Infinity 23? Well, we continue to see a lot of gains in our path toward delivering on the autonomous enterprise in terms of enhancing self-service and knowledge and assisting agents through AI, specifically Pega Gen AI. We also witnessed the next evolution of Pega customer service through Constellation. And throughout this presentation, we're going to work through some of the key highlights from each of these four themes. But before we dive in, it's important for us to see how Infinity 23 fits into a larger continuum. And mind you, this is a very, very high level view, but let's focus on the big fish. You can see how in 2020 we launched the digital messaging service, and this opened the doors for chatbot self-service across chat, WhatsApp, Facebook, SMS, and more. And you can see the 2021 acquisition of Curious.io and how that paved the way for Pega voice and messaging AI in 2022. But I have to say that Infinity 23 is a monumental release, not only because of Pega Gen AI, but because we are now witnessing the birth of the next evolution of Pega customer service in the form of Constellation. So this is our path so far as we move toward providing more and more intelligent guidance for agents and toward providing improved ways of automating work out of the contact center. And speaking of automating work out of the contact center, Jeremy, can you tell us a bit more about Pega's advancements in self-service?
Absolutely. Thank you, Kat. And as Kat just mentioned, we've been making these sort of significant investments in the digital or self-service solutions for the past several years, right? Again, not just those assisted service solutions like chat or messaging, but also those pure self-service engagements, chatbots, email bots, and more. And this 23 release includes some really big improvements. They're going to make it a lot easier to get Pega workflow and knowledge into really sort of any of your digital properties, right? From full self-service portals to mobile apps to whatever digital environment you might use to interact with your customers. All right, now it's certainly been possible to use Pega within your self-service sites for a long time. But in this release, we're now fully leveraging the latest Constellation DX APIs for customer service. I'm going to reference this again later in this session, but the Constellation DX API is a dynamic API that makes it much easier to embed and maintain Pega workflows within your site. It allows you to make changes to the business logic within your workflow without requiring subsequent changes to the visual part of the front end, right? That makes it sort of dramatically easier to be a more agile service organization, right? Get more real work in the hands of your customers via self-service. You can integrate at a variety of layers, right? The core APIs, or via a set of SDKs for many of the leading mobile or web frameworks. And again, I'm going to hit on some of this later, but you can leverage these new capabilities without having to upgrade or make changes to your existing agent desktop. So just as we've made it significantly easier to embed workflows into any self-service or digital environment, we're also releasing a brand new version of our knowledge management API so that you can do the same with knowledge. Right, as Kat said, right, aligned to this wider set of investments in automating work out of the contact center, right, making it easier to provide personalized knowledge search to your end customers again, with significantly less implementation and maintenance overhead. And also similar to the prior slide, right? Integration is available at multiple layers, from the APIs to a new packaged component that makes it really easy to embed knowledge within your portal or application. So we've provided this improved API access to knowledge search, right? Knowledge anywhere, as we like to say. But in addition, we've also significantly improved the search itself. This builds on a series of investments that we've been making over the past couple of releases, and it now includes sort of full access to Pega's leading NLP via our Prediction Studio. And so this allows for AI-based automated tagging of articles, which can then be used to sort of improve and boost search results. A reminder that Prediction Studio allows you to tune the natural language models for your own business. And so now you can extend that functionality into knowledge as well. To foreshadow just a bit, a lot of the challenge of knowledge search and findability is really just a question of good article authoring. And a little bit later, Kat's going to describe some of the great new Gen AI features that we've added to aid with knowledge authoring process itself, right? How to improve an article's content and therefore improve its findability. But I'll leave that to Kat in the Gen AI section. And then finally, we've added what you might call a search preview, the search tuner here, right? It's within the authoring experience, and it allows you to validate your anticipated search results prior to publication. So you can preview which kinds of searches might discover your articles, right? Which tags and categories are going to be extracted, and whether they're going to match up in the way that you intend. And then if necessary, the author can iterate and tune the knowledge content so that it performs as expected. So that was just a really quick skim of the surface of the digital and self-service and knowledge enhancements in 23. A lot of pretty cool stuff that will make it significantly easier to automate work out of the contact center. But lots of interactions do reach the contact center, and we continue to optimize for that as well. And so for the agent experience, I'm going to hand it back to Kat now.
Thanks, Jeremy. This is where make every agent your best agent comes into play. And momentarily, we're going to look at how we can better assist agents through advances in voice and messaging AI and with Process Fabric support. And note too how we continue to make incremental investments in chat and messaging as well, as you can see here with the new integration between Customer Decision Hub and the chat and messaging functionality. So as you are well aware, voice and messaging AI featured very prominently in previous releases because it essentially provided an AI-powered co-pilot that helped agents in many ways. And we have seen amazing success with clients such as Elevance, who are actively using voice AI to guide their agents through their phone calls. Now, one feature of voice AI is script adherence, basically ensuring that agents stick to their scripts. And in Infinity 23, we do see an interesting development here because now you can define the right level of script adherence for every dialogue. And this allows for verbatim matching. For example, when an agent needs to read a legal disclosure. It also allows for looser matching when appropriate, for example, for greeting a customer with a welcome message. And you can see right here how the contact center manager can just adjust that adherence level using this handy scale. And in this release, there's a net new win for contact center managers because now they can gain quick visibility into the health of their voice AI system with the new system health dashboard. So this means they can quickly identify and address issues with connectivity to the voice AI service. And lastly, in support of the wider autonomous paradigm, autonomous enterprise paradigm, customer service is building an out-of-the-box integration with Pega Process Fabric to help unify work management across applications. This means that agents will gain visibility into customer-related activities happening in other Pega applications right from their agent desktop. And not only will they be able to see these activities, but they'll also be able to action open work. So what does this mean in terms of real benefits to the agent experience? Well, really, it empowers agents to get work done from front office to back office. It means that they can resolve more of their cases on first contact. And this is a big boost for first contact resolution. But do you know what's also helping agents work at their best, Jeremy?
I think I know where you're going, but I'll leave it for you.
It's generative AI, my friends. And there are so many treats in the generative AI goodie bag. For the end user crowd, agents can benefit from Pega GenAI's auto summarization capabilities, particularly during wrap up. GenAI also suggests replies for emails. And there is a GenAI agent trainer that actually simulates live chat interactions. On the manager side, GenAI provides knowledge authoring assistance as well as suggesting email templates. And it actually enables you to talk to your data to generate reports. And of course, for developers, Pega GenAI offers a giant boost to low-code development. So Pega GenAI brings us so many riveting new features. And now we're going to focus on the highlights. Here's a big one: eliminate wrap-up time. So essentially, AI auto-summarizes interactions, streamlining post-service agent tasks. So all that time spent taking notes after a call or a chat is eliminated because GenAI provides a summary of the entire interaction, as you can see in the screenshot here. So why is this so brilliantly awesome? Because it substantially reduces interaction time, which means that agents can quickly engage with their next customer. And this presents a huge productivity gain for contact centers. Another benefit for agents comes in the form of the GenAI agent trainer. And what's the goal of this agent trainer? The goal is to reduce onboarding costs and improve agent retention rates by simulating live chat interactions. And this is more than just conversing with a chat bot. As a contact center manager, you can actually assign tasks to be performed during the interaction. And you can see this right here in the add task pane, where the manager has asked for a simulation in which the customer requests that the agent update their address and check their credit card balance. And look how the manager can even define the customer's mood, from downright crotchety to positively sparkling. And if you thought that was cool, check out how the GenAI agent trainer can identify coaching opportunities with AI generated feedback. And we can see an example right here where GenAI has suggested better ways to communicate using improved grammar and improved tone. And in speaking of improving communications, how about harnessing GenAI to assist with writing knowledge articles? Yes, this is also possible in Infinity 23. With Pega GenAI, you can seriously boost knowledge production by leveraging AI in the knowledge authoring process to create robust abstracts and improve content. So, for example, you can take an existing mess of a knowledge article and ask GenAI to create an abstract from it, and also improve that messy content in various ways. And note that the author can always continue to edit the article manually if desired. So these have been the big GenAI features from the Pega customer service side. But it would be remiss of us to exclude some of the amazing things that are happening from the platform side. So let's take a look. So here are some of the platform features that Pega customer service users can absolutely take advantage of to accelerate their low-code development. Pega GenAI can generate workflows, suggest personas, automate data modeling, generate sample data, and it can accelerate integration by auto-mapping backend APIs to workflow data models. So GenAI hit the world like an explosion. It was a giant paradigm shift. But at Pega, GenAI is just building on top of already existing AI-powered technologies. It's the next step in our evolution toward automating more work and making service effortless for everyone. And another step in our evolution toward making service effortless for everyone is Constellation for Pega customer service. And Jeremy has been deeply entrenched in this star universe for quite some time, so I'm sure he could tell us a bit more about Constellation and what we need to know about it.
Indeed, I can. Thanks again, Kat. I just want to add my own plug real quickly for those generative AI features, and highlight again that Kat really just touched the tip of the iceberg there, right? We've got, the highlights that she just walked through, but we've got about a dozen generative AI features specific to customer service and another couple of dozen that we inherit from the platform or otherwise available throughout Pega. So it's this huge suite of functionality coming here in 23. And as Kat said, in some sense, right, it's revolutionary, but it's also really this natural evolution of the autonomous journey that Pega has been on for quite some time. And that really applies to the new Constellation version of customer service as well, right? It's another example of both sort of evolutionary and revolutionary change. So why Constellation? right? The short answer is that Constellation is really a natural evolution of our Infinity architectures, right? It really embodies, I mean, it almost technically instantiates some of our core value propositions. All right, our point of view, the things that really make Pega special continue to be advanced and matured via Constellation. Right? What does that mean, right? Especially as it relates to customer service, Pega does things a little bit differently. We have a laser focus on getting real work done. We focus on the business problem. We focus on the outcome you're trying to achieve, and then the customer and the agent experience to get there, right? And then we focus on making that work available anywhere. And then we give you a low code platform to make it easy to develop and maintain that work in a centralized place across all your channels. Constellation is really just the next technical iteration of that view of the world, right? Making it as easy as possible to build consistency, intelligence, and automation into your actual work processes, and then make it possible to execute that work from everywhere. So what does that all mean for customer service? Right, our 23 release does include a new Constellation-powered agent desktop, and I'll get to that in a minute, but it's much more than just a UI refresh. Constellation really elevates the low no-code development process as the dominant paradigm. So this guided, prescriptive, design and configuration-based approach to implementing your workflows and applications in customer service. It is App Studio first. It strongly encourages development that's consistent, that's easy to deliver, that's safe to extend, and that's seamless to upgrade. And then as I referenced on the last slide, right, if you've captured these consistent reusable journeys and workflows, how do you make them available everywhere? And a really big part of our customer service message is how easy it is to work with Pega regardless of what the rest of your CRM landscape looks like. And so once again, right, Constellation evolves that Pega point of view forward. So Constellation includes the latest and greatest version of what we call our DX or Digital Experience API, right? I talked about this briefly in the digital section, right? This is a dynamic, visually described API that allows you to make updates to your core workflows and business logic without breaking your front end, right? Delivering radically improved agility and cost of ownership. And of course, we deliver that API directly, but also via this set of SDKs for leading development frameworks, right? We also deliver packaged embeddable components. And then, of course, we have our own customer service channels connected as well. And then finally, in this release, we are delivering the new Constellation version, this next generation of our agent desktop or CSR portal. So let's just talk a little bit more about the new Constellation agent desktop. For existing Pega customer service customers, in many ways, I hope the new desktop will look quite familiar, right? It centers around the customer journey in the way that only Pega really does. It has all the AI-powered and intelligent guidance that we're known for. Of course, all the core functionality such as contextual knowledge and omni-channel support, and it's all wrapped up in this guided, intuitive, agent-friendly experience, right? It has all the things. It's also fast. It's the fastest desktop we've ever built. And that's not just in terms of the UI rendering, but all the way down the stack I was talking about previously. It's visually fantastic. The new design language, right, the optimized layouts, this intuitive prescriptive UX, all this stuff really helps agents work efficiently and confidently. And again, as I mentioned on the prior slide, it's all built on top of the new Constellation architectures, and that really encourages this agile no-code approach while also delivering the extensibility you need for your business. All in, it's a really fantastic evolution of our desktop, and it is available in the 23 release. And while we are very proud of that, we also recognize that especially existing desktop customers are not just going to immediately switch out their existing desktops en masse. So we worked very hard in the 23 release to make it possible for all customers to adopt the latest Constellation technologies in ways that make sense with their roadmaps. And we've done this by supporting what we call coexistence. And by that, I mean basically compatibility between the new Constellation architectures and your existing investments. At the highest level, you've got two things in play, right? Your workflows or your cases and your applications, such as an agent desktop or some adjacent customer service application. And in 23, we've made it possible for you to reuse your existing traditional case types inside a new Constellation application. So for example, you might plan to bring on a new business unit, and for that unit, you might want to roll out the latest Constellation desktop. But you can reuse your existing workflows that you've already developed so that you don't have to start over. Or vice versa. You can create new Constellation case types and workflows, and then access those within your existing customer service desktop. So you might build new workflows and deploy them to self-service via those fantastic new DX APIs I was talking about. And then if those new workflows ultimately need the support of an agent, they can do that from their existing customer service desktop. So what we've done is really tried to create a way for you to incrementally adopt the latest and greatest, right? Encouraging you to use the newest and highest value technologies whenever you have a roadmap item for which it's appropriate. Again, we sort of see a theme. We see a continuation and evolution of one of our core value propositions, right? This ability to automate and innovate without disruption, right? Adding value quickly without necessarily having to do open heart surgery on an existing implementation or an existing system. Now, before I close out, I do want to mention that our customer service industry editions, these are our tailored industry-specific builds. They are also available in 23 on the new Constellation architectures. So I've got the financial services example slide up here, but we have versions for insurance, healthcare, and communications available as well. So again, right, natural evolution of these verticalized solutions, right? Adopting the Constellation architectures top to bottom. So updated data models, the pre-built micro journeys, the desktop composites, the whole package is now built on the latest and greatest. So that is the very abbreviated overview of customer service on Constellation in 23. And with that, I will hand it back to Kat to wrap us up.
So we saw how Constellation is the next evolution of Pega customer service as it refocuses on the core of what Pega does best, making it easier for organizations as they move toward the paradigm of the autonomous enterprise. And to reiterate, the developments in Infinity 23 work toward delivering this paradigm as well. The goal of which, as we've said before, is to make service effortless for everyone by automating work out of the contact center, by making every agent your best agent, by enhancing service with generative AI, and through Constellation, the next evolution of Pega customer service. Thank you for tuning in. We hope you're as excited about Infinity 23 as we are.